Good evening, students. Good evening, students.
Good evening.
Can you be able to hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
I think we can start a lesson as others join because we cannot wait for them for so long. So if I can confirm that we are having three students, so we can start today's lesson. And I'm requesting that you mute your microphone whenever you are not talking. And if you want to talk, you can raise your hand or I could call you your name. Wait a moment, I upload my. Can you be able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
What about now?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, you can see it. It's okay if you can be able to see it, then we can start. Today, we are going to run a unit called the Food and Beverage Service and Sales. And I'm your trainer, Mr. Chofrenya Undi. And I welcome to our lesson today. Our running outcome is by the end of the session, the runners should be able to outline undesirable qualities of a waiter. Today's outcome is that at the end of the lesson, the runner should be able to outline undesirable qualities of a waiter. If you can remember from our previous lesson, we learned the attributes of a good waiter. For example, being honest, integrity, punctuality, and working etc. So today, we're going to look now on the undesirable qualities of a waiter, whereby we refer this as the qualities which are not good while you are serving clients in a restaurant or in an hotel. So to start with, these are the things which are portrayed by waiters who are not good in the provision of their services. First one, forgetting to greet the arriving customers presently. As a waiter, you are supposed to welcome the guest to your area of operation, that is in the restaurant, or either in the front office, or in housekeeping, depending on your area where you're working from. The second and desirable quality of a waiter is that you let guests seat themselves instead of assisting them to sit on the various tables which you have arranged for. Another quality which is not good is that a waiter is not supposed to refuse to assist a guest or sitting a guest in another table. Usually, you are supposed to serve people in a clean table, which is well set up according to your standards of operation. Also, serving from the wrong side is not allowed in service. Remember, you are supposed to serve all operated foods from the right hand side of the guest. So, such rules are supposed to be followed whenever you are serving your guests in the restaurant. Not setting tables properly and placing empty sugar bowls, cruets on the table. You are supposed to set tables if they are not in use to await the incoming customer. Also, other undesirable qualities of a waiter include being too familiar with guests. This could lead to embarrassing situations. Sometimes, when you are familiar with a guest, you do extend conversations which are not beneficial to the organization. So, as waiters, we are supposed to keep conversation with our clients to be brief and precise and the specifications of the client's needs. Also, another bad habit is that you're not supposed to gather in groups in your personal areas while talking in loud and showing signs of irritability with other members of the staff. You are supposed to be standing in your station awaiting customers to arrive and not to gather in groups to discuss your own issues which does not benefit the organization. Also, another thing is that you are supposed to polish equipment in the most professional way by ensuring that you don't leave your fingerprints on the crockery, glassware, or making noises while you are arranging the service equipment. Also, another bad habit is that keeping the side station dirty or using torn or stained linen. In service, we are supposed to use clean linen whenever we are doing service. If the linen has been dirtied by the soup or the sauces, we are supposed to replace it with a clean linen. Also, another undesirable quality of a waiter is overfilling water glasses or leaving dirty ashtrays on an occupied table. Usually, we are supposed to serve water 3/4 of a glass, and ashtrays, whenever they are full, we are supposed to empty them using a technical skill which I'm going to show you in our next practical session on how to empty a dirty ashtray. Also, another undesirable quality of a waiter is that when you are not attentive to the guest needs, you may find that you have taken an order against the client's expectations or our wishes. You are supposed to be attentive to the clients when you are taking your order, such that you get the nitty-gritties on how the food is supposed to be prepared, or if it is a beverage, you inquire the temperature of the guest, that is the temperature of the drink the guest wants to take, whether maybe it is a room temperature, cold, etc. Also, another undesirable quality of a waiter is that while you are serving food, you are supposed to use the right plate when you are doing service. For example, you should use cold plates for cold food and use an hot plate for hot food and not vice versa. Also, as a waiter, you are not supposed to touch food with your bare hands. Instead, you can use a fork, etc., to touch the food. Because if you use your bare hands, you are going to contaminate the food of the guest, which may cause an illness to the guest. Also, you are not supposed to solicit tips or you request clients to give you a certain amount of money as a tip. Remember, in service, you are supposed to be professional in the way you carry out your services to the client. You are supposed to ensure that you provide services as expected as per the standard operating procedures of your establishment. So you are not supposed to request tips from the guest, but it is upon the guest who is willing to give you at his own will. Class, I think up to that point, I've come to the end of my presentation. I welcome you to ask questions on what we have tackled today on undesirable qualities of a waiter. Grace, do you have any query?
Can I add
Yes,
the qualities? Good
yes.
memory
No, we are talking about undesirable,
or undesirable.
bad qualities of a waiter.
Okay. Thank you.
Another one with a question. If no one has a question, then I'm going to give you an assignment, which is going to lead us to our next topic. And I'm going to give the assignment as it is shown on your gadget. Explain various types of service equipment. Explain various types of service equipment. Thanks for coming to today's class. See you again next week. Thanks.